This here is Southeast Asia, home to 11 countries, including Vietnam, Thailand, Singapore, the Philippines, Indonesia, and way down here, Timor-Leste, a nation so small it doesn't even occupy an entire island.
I've just traveled to the least visited country in all of Asia. In fact, in 2019, more people went to North Korea than this place.
Last year, Timor-Leste welcomed only 26,000 tourists. To be fair, it's a small country, but Bali, right over here, is a similar size. And in 2024, they brought in over 6 million visitors. That means more people visit Bali in a weekend than visit Timor-Leste in an entire year. And I want to know why.
Mr. President, why should people care about Timor-Leste?
Well,
While I'm here, I'll be traveling from the capital to the countryside to understand how Timorese food and culture are different from anywhere else in Southeast Asia.
There's something interesting about this, which is that if you eat it without preparing it the correct way,
then you will die.
But what I find won't always be charming.
Whenever there's ritual, they eat this. This is poo.
I can't believe people are eating it here.
All right, that's it.
My investigation into this unknown nation begins in its capital, Dili, a city of nearly 300,000, roughly a quarter of the nation's population. Any good tourist destination requires places to go and things to do. But perhaps there's no element of travel more important than eating good food. So I've headed to Dili's busiest market to get a closer look at what Timor-Leste has to offer.
Looking around, I see so much here. There's grains and beans and vegetables and aromatics, ginger. Is this all food that was grown here on the island?
They're all locally grown.
Meet Cesar, Timorese entrepreneur, chef, and ambassador.
Can you tell me about what you're holding right now?
This one is Ikan Saboko. This is one of the national dishes.
The biggest destinations in Asia have a national dish worth flying halfway around the world to eat. Japan has sushi, Thailand has pad thai, but what about Timor-Leste?
In the past, there were not much transportation, so this is easy to carry. You can hang on your bag, like a bow and arrow, and then that's your food.
What's on the inside?
The base of this dish starts with mackerel, marinated in turmeric, soy sauce, salt, black pepper, moringa leaves, chilies, and tamarind. It's bold and earthy from the first step.
This food is like a good friend of the poor people, shepherds, farmers, even the vendors that come into the city like this city, they will bring with me.
The mackerel is wrapped tight in a palm leaf parcel, tied at both ends. Then it goes on the grill, slowly cooking until the leaves char and the fish steams inside.
Is this something that people used to make at home and then just carry it on them and eat it when they needed it?
Yes, especially if you go to a farm or you go for a long journey without refrigeration. It can be 10 days because they're dry inside.
Oh.
That's how it looks.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
It's good. It's lightly spiced. It's mild. There's a little bit of kick in there. A little bit of tamarind. What I like about it is that it's super meaty. There's just like a ton of protein on here. You get a little fat from the skin on the outside. The skin is nice and supple. But inside, I mean, there's plenty of meat to chomp down on. So you actually feel like you're really getting something substantial.
Yes.
How much does this cost?
50 cents to $1. This is the low economy food.
I'm curious how people are making a living in Timor-Leste.
It's tough.
The average income here is around $115 a month. Do the math and you're looking at about 65 cents an hour, all of it paid in US dollars, the official currency of this country.
We are a big export of oil and gas, that's the main. But we also have coffee that's sent overseas to the United States, Australia, and Europe. So far for export, it's just that. But tourism is the future. I see. I'm in the food industry. I'm a tourist guide myself for 20 years.
Timor-Leste.
Timor-Leste.
Timor-Leste is Asia's youngest nation, but its economy has plenty of room to grow.
Timor-Leste's tourism accounts for less than 0.5% of its economy, so the growth potential is huge. Nearby Bali is making billions, so what's stopping this country from doing the same? Well, the first problem, Timor-Leste has only been a country since 2002.
I think one of the major challenges with tourism in this country is that Timor-Leste is a very young country. I mean, it has a lot of history, but it doesn't have a lot of history being Timor-Leste.
Yes.
This place is packed with locals every day, but they're not serving local food. This is an Indonesian restaurant, a food influence you'll find all over the capital. On today's menu, jackfruit curry.
Here we have food that it's more Indonesian than Timorese, but if you look around here, these are all local people, and they're local people who love this food. Ma'am, put her there.
Okay.
At at the helm Miss Okta, coming originally from Indonesia, which could be awkward, considering not long ago, her country attempted to take this one over.
During the war, 200,000 Timorese were killed within 24 years.
What was Indonesia's goal?
They want to unite all of the islands in the archipelago of Indonesia.
For centuries, Timor-Leste was colonized by the Portuguese. When they pulled out in 1975, Indonesia invaded within a week. So Timor-Leste has only been independent for about 25 years, a very short time for it to create its own identity.
Meanwhile, you came from Indonesia to here.
Here.
What is the attitude of people here towards Indonesians like you?
It's welcome, my Indonesian people. The people Timor
Accept your food and you.
Yes.
Not only do they accept you, but they accept the food, which might be even more important.
Being somewhere like Timor-Leste reminds you how much there is in this world to explore. Today's jackfruit curry starts with the boiling of young jackfruit. In the meantime, she mashes garlic, turmeric, onion, ginger, and galangal. Next, she fries it along with lemongrass, curry leaves, chili paste, and coconut milk. Then she lets it simmer into a deep, rich gravy. In another pot, garlic and cooked jackfruit are fried together, then married in a final curry.
It looks pretty dang good. Oh, that's nice.
Do you like?
I like it.
Yeah, thank you.
Well spiced, creamy, but not too rich, and it's got a little bit of kick too.
Shall we try with the rice?
Sure. I really want to saturate some of that rice with this delicious coconut milk
that's right.
and give it a shot. Cheers.
Coconut milk is really good.
Oh, that's really good. I love the way that the coconut milk and all those spices just saturate the rice. It's so full of flavor. But then that young jackfruit is very unique. When I eat something like this, I don't necessarily feel like meat is missing.
Yes.
And I wouldn't say that it's meaty, but it's kind of substantial. It feels a bit carby, almost starchy.
So the minimum salary is 115. This is the food that they can pay for. And then together they create an harmony because these people sell very cheap food and then the people that come and eat here could eat for lunch before getting back to work.
This is basically Indonesian food. But the question is, does Timor-Leste have its own food?
We do have our own food. For example, like in Timor, something that you cook in leaf, even though there is Indonesian influence, the visual looks similar, but the ingredients we use are different. But the traditional food of the Timorese, you might find in special occasion, ritual, wedding, funeral. Then you have to go to the mountain or you go outside of village to experience this kind of like authentic Timorese food. Totally different.
For you, you have an outside perspective because you grew up in Indonesia, then came here later in life. How would you define Timorese food?
Iha perbedaannya iha Portugis.
From her point of view, the Timorese food doesn't have that much difference with the Indonesian food.
Oh, interesting.
The most difference is actually the Portuguese food. Most of the Portuguese food are to be afforded by medium income people. But there is one dish specifically that connects with Timor. We call feijoada.
Thank you for joining us. Having lived in Portugal, does this look familiar to you?
It's familiar to me because feijoada is a regular food for the Portuguese.
Rui is Timor-Leste born and bred, but he's been working in Portugal the past 7 years, the same country that shaped this island for more than 4 centuries.
One of the lasting influences from the Portuguese occupation is this right here, feijoada.
Here it starts with the frying of tomatoes, garlic, and onions in olive oil. Add pork ribs, pork belly, tomato sauce, salt, carrots, and bay leaves. Then let it stew until everything softens up. Finally, it's blessed with chorizo, pre-soaked beans, and cabbage.
Does it look similar to what you would find in actual Portugal?
The Portugal style is a different because they develop it with meat as well. Timor-Leste, we only use the beans and some cabbage, carrot, or potatoes.
Timor-Leste's family are very poor. You couldn't afford meat every day.
Yeah.
So what you do is, whatever you are available, you add to the dish. And then you create Timor-Leste feijoada, which is nowadays you call vegetarian feijoada.
Salty, beany, like starchy from bean starch, and then full of meat. Great flavors, different textures. A very heavy meal packed with energy. It's very good though.
Tastes are still amazing as the Portuguese is.
I can't wait for a Portuguese person to watch this and go, it's not similar at all.
Yeah.
Throughout this video, I'm trying to understand more about why so few people are traveling to this country. I think another issue is that, first of all, Timor-Leste is very small. There are other small countries that get a lot of tourism, but it's also the location. It's hard to find flights to get to this island.
For the few who do travel to Timor-Leste, there are only 6 direct flights that'll get you here. For comparison, Bali runs 65 different connections with an average of 92 flights landing every single day.
First, we have to solve the flighting connection. Second, make it easy for people to access Timor. all of the procedures for people to come in, but not too easy. Because if you make it too easy, then you become in Bali. You don't want a second Bali.
Sure.
You just want a Timor that's different with Maldives, different with Bali, different with Fiji. Then you put Timor on like map like this is Timor.
Later in this video, I'll be speaking to the people who don't just know tourism, they have the power to shape it.
You are the man in charge of tourism for this country. I want to give you an interesting fact. In 2019, North Korea had more tourism than Timor-Leste.
But first, Sonny the Tourist has been invited to this city's one and only tourist attraction.
All day I've been looking for tourists, and so far I've only found one Australian guy who thought he was going to Bali. Feel bad for that guy. If you're coming to a new country and you're trying to figure out what to do for fun, a good idea is to start by looking at what the locals do for fun. This is like a little street food fair where they have music, entertainment, all the best of Timor-Leste. Right here we have some of the local offerings. One thing I do like about Timor-Leste is these folks like to drink. This is not a Muslim country. In fact, it's one of the most purely Catholic countries in the world. And guess what Catholics get to do? Well, not marry if they're priests, but they do get to drink.
The Timor Plaza night market isn't just the best thing to do on Saturday nights in Dili, it's the only thing to do. And what do people do there? They eat. Here, locals can get a taste from exotic lands, places like the Philippines and even China.
When I'm saying I want to try some really local food, people keep pointing to this. If you were next door in Indonesia, they've got something that looks very similar. These are skewers or satay. I've got chicken and beef. The chicken looks very well done. No salmonella. That's safe to eat, except for the carcinogens. Okay, not bad. It got a little bit cold while I was waiting. There is some seasoning on there, but the best seasoning of all, right here, beer. Next we have the beef skewers. Let's give that a shot. That's pretty good. Much more juicy than the chicken. A little salty on the outside. There's a semi-sweet glaze, but eat them hot. Don't do what I did. Take a bunch of videos of them and then eat them.
So far, it's been a challenge to find food that's purely Timorese, but that challenge ends tomorrow, when Caesar and I plunge into an extreme countryside culinary ritual.
What's gonna happen next is something I've never seen before in Asia. I could just ask you what's gonna happen next, but I think we should just see for ourselves. Please.
But before we risk it all, I've discovered a dish that locals claim as their own, and I'm sharing it with the creator of this event, Mr. Tony.
Put her there.
How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Welcome to Timor-Leste.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. You know, I'm very interested in this country because it has some of the lowest tourism in all of Asia. From what I've gathered so far, there's just not a ton to do in this city. What are people here doing for fun?
Mostly they don't have that much entertainment. I would say go to swim at the beach that most of the Timors will do.
Basically, it's quite limited here.
Yeah.
The whole town was very dark and no life in it. So I thought, well, we should get something in here. So we started slowly with a small night market, and then it grew to this success.
I'm curious about the food here because my goal is to find food that's really authentically Timorese. A lot of what I see even here, maybe they say it's local, but it kind of looks like satay that I've had in Indonesia. But here we have something I've not seen before.
We are looking at Batardang. This is a staple food for most of the poor families, farmers, shepherds, working class families. You could afford this with $5 ingredients and then you can feed 20 people.
Into a pot goes corn, kidney beans, and peanuts, bubbling away, patiently awaiting the next step. Pumpkin gets chopped and tossed in, along with papaya flowers. Salt, pepper, MSG, and moringa leaves follow. Then it all simmers until everything softens, breaks down, and turns into a humble, comforting soup with an aroma that goes back generations. For a little flair, it's topped with locally made, Portuguese-influenced chorizo.
That chorizo has a flavor, man.
That's a nice combination. Visually, the soup isn't the most beautiful soup, so it has to overcompensate with flavor. The chorizo, it does taste like chorizo, but I have had Mexican chorizo. And it does remind me of that, some of the spices. It's got some kick, it's got spices, it's fatty, it's meaty, it's very rich. Meanwhile, the soup itself, it's got corn, beans, it's very starchy.
Pumpkin, yes.
But there's something bitter in there too.
The bitterness is from papaya flower.
We eat the fruit, but I've never heard of anybody eating the flower.
The flower and the leaf.
Do you like that?
I really like it. It's very good for malaria.
For malaria?
Antioxidant.
Yeah.
Very good. And something I've not seen anywhere else. I think this is the most fully Timorese food I've tried today.
Of the handful of tourists who make it to this country each year, most don't leave the capital. But this country really does have food unlike anywhere else. You just have to travel all the way out here to find it.
One of the biggest challenges so far in coming to Timor-Leste is finding food that is authentically Timorese. Well, today, I believe we've solved that problem. On the menu today, something I've not tried yet, goat meat. Not only is this goat going to provide an extraordinary amount of nutrition for the village, but it's also going to be reading somebody's fortune. In a moment, I'm about to find out how.
Before the slaughter kicks off, a ritual is performed. The animal is offered to the ancestors, and they request blessings and fertility for the land before the growing season. This ritual is led by Degu Lari, chief of the Wabere clan. Around 50 families call this village home. Their daily meals consist of what they can grow: rice, cassava, breadfruit, or what they can find through hunting and foraging. So an animal of this size is not something they eat every day.
Cesar, can I be honest?
Yes.
I don't think the goat cooked all the way through.
Yes, no.
I think it's still medium rare.
They just burnt the hair.
What's gonna happen next is something I've never seen, at least before in Asia. I could just ask you what's gonna happen next, but I think we should just see for ourselves. He put an X in the chest with the knife, then he's cutting on the left side.
Both sides.
There you go. Oh, wow. All has come out in one piece. Right here we have a lot of the organs, the lungs, and the breastplate. And I'm told he's actually gonna be using the liver to read somebody's fortune today.
And the farming fortune as well.
So it's a little farmer's almanac.
Yeah.
Oof, I smell gases being released. But right here, we have the liver. Now, the liver, I gotta say, it looks pristine.
Yeah. All good. He said all good. The planting season and your journey in Timor-Leste is gonna be great. This is very clear. That means their planting this season will be nice and good.
Okay, so the harvest is gonna be good.
Gonna be good for this year.
But then what'd you say about my journey here?
Yeah, if you have a family, you have kids, you have wife, something like horrible like that, something like horrible like that, will not approach to you. That means everything's good for you.
The way you said that sentence, I think it could have been structured differently. Something terrible like death will not happen.
This year,
This year.
every year you read this.
1 year at a time, baby.
Most of this meat will become part of a timeless Timorese tradition, except for the head. But first, a bizarre barbecue so extreme, no outsider has dared to try it. That is, until now.
Sometimes online, people have told me to eat
Really?
and now I finally have the opportunity. What am I looking at here?
The big stomach will process the grass and then transfer to small stomach and then transfer to this one, which is more finely into the poo. So we eat both. There's half of the grass. This is poo.
I can't believe people are eating it here.
Whenever there's ritual, they eat this.
Am I being pranked? People legitimately eat this.
It's not fact.
This is insane.
In most countries, when intestines are prepared, great lengths are taken to rinse and wash any of the intestines' contents away, ensuring the final product is as poop-free as possible. Here, it's the complete opposite. Without touching a drop of water, and with its contents still intact, large, crudely chopped sections of intestine are seasoned with nothing more than salt, some chilies, and garlic, then tossed over a flame. Each minute, the flames lick the intestines. I'm brought one step closer to the inevitable.
I mean,